Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, it was held from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and I gotta say, the show was a decent show, but it was very predictable. Very, very predictable show. So there were matches that were good. Some were bad though, but all in all, it was a decent show, but predictable. And I'm gonna start with the match that was on the pre-show, which I didn't get to see, but it was Gallows and Anderson versus the Miztourage, Curtis, Axel, and Bo Dallas. Gallows and Anderson ended up getting the win. So, but it was an easy win for Gallows and Anderson. But then the pay-per-view kicked off with the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match. This was for the Raw Women's title, and it was Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville versus Mickie James. And as I say, this first ever women's Elimination Chamber, as I say, it was a decent match. I really liked it. I mean, in the end, it was very predictable. Like I said, because this whole show was very predictable. But this would have been the perfect chance for WWE to set up, the heel turn. Because there was rumors going around saying that, in articles saying that, WWE is gonna, gonna make Sasha Banks heel, turn heel. And, this would have been a perfect opportunity to do that. Have Bayley. They should have had Bayley win the title last night, win the Raw Women's title last night, setting up for Sasha to turn heel on Bayley, and then at WrestleMania, have Bayley versus Sasha for the Raw Women's title. But WWE didn't end up giving us that last night. But match itself, Absolution got taken out. Mandy Rose was the first to be eliminated from this match, and at one point when Alexa turned to come out of the pod, she was just holding up so she wouldn't get out of the pod, and eventually she ended up getting out and ended up climbing up the chamber, so she wouldn't compete against Bayley and Sasha. But in the end, it was down to Alexa and Sasha. Alexa ended up getting the win, hitting the DDT on Sasha to score the win, and Alexa still retains the Raw Women's title. But come WrestleMania, I highly doubt that Alexa's gonna, retain the title at WrestleMania. I think another women's superstar, is gonna win the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. Which pretty sure probably it's gonna be Asuka, but who knows? And then after the match, Alexa was being interviewed. She went from that sort of baby face thing, and she turned it around to get back in her heel character. I mean, Alexa, I'm a fan of Alexa. She's a great heel, and I say, she hasn't defended the Raw Women's title in a while. This was the first time that she defended the title in months. I think it was since the TLC pay-per-view, which that was the last time she defended the women's title. So, but all in all, the first ever women's Elimination Chamber, was a decent match. Wasn't too bad. I actually really liked it. I mean, WWE should have done the Sasha heel turn. and have Bayley win the title. And like I said, for have Bayley versus Sasha at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. But WWE likes to do the opposite. They don't want to give us what we want to see, though. So, and the next match was for the Raw Tag Team titles. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil and Apollo. Dana Brooke was out there. And the match itself, it was meh kind of match. I mean, I like how they're building up, Titus and Apollo. Thinking that they're gonna win the the tag team titles. But we've seen Cesaro and Sheamus and Titus and Apollo go at it how many times already? But from what I heard, rumors saying that Cesaro and Sheamus might not be a tag team for long. Probably, they're gonna end up splitting them at WrestleMania. But who knows? But Cesaro and Sheamus end up getting the win. They end up hitting the springboard on Apollo. You had Cesaro ended up pinning Apollo to score the win for him and Sheamus, and Cesaro and Sheamus end up retaining the Raw Tag Team titles. But as I say, probably come WrestleMania, maybe we'd like to see Titus and Apollo win the tag team titles. Since they're building the both of them up. So, but I wouldn't be surprised come WrestleMania if Titus and Apollo become the new tag team champions. So, but the match itself, it was meh. And then we had the next match. It was Asuka versus Nia Jax. If Nia ended up winning the match, she would be added to the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania. And the match, it was decent. There were times where Nia was trying to take down Asuka. Nia was pretty much the strong competitor in this match. I mean, there were times where Asuka was going at Nia, trying to keep Nia down. At one point, Asuka locked in the the Asuka lock on Nia. Nia ended up breaking out of it, and Asuka ended up getting the win because she ended up Nia was trying to hit a move on Asuka, but Asuka reversed it, and so that's how Asuka got the win. So, and then after the match, you had Nia beating up Asuka even more outside, and then you had and then Nia rammed Asuka into the barricade, just breaking the barricade, which was pretty cool. I mean, it's been done before where people where superstars break the barricade over there. So, but all in all, Asuka versus Nia was a decent match, and leads Asuka going into WrestleMania. Who she will choose to fight for the title? Who knows? A lot of people are saying that Asuka will probably challenge Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. That I would like to see. And so if Asuka ends up winning beating Charlotte and winning and wins the SmackDown Women's title, Asuka will go to SmackDown. That will set off probably a draft because there's rumors and articles saying that there's going to be another draft coming after WrestleMania. So if Asuka challenges Charlotte and beats her and becomes a SmackDown Women's Champion, that there's going to be a draft. So, but all in all, like I said, Asuka versus Nia Jax, it was a decent match. Also, after the match, you had Renee Young interviewing Alexa. about the outcome of that match. Alexa goes on to say that no one is ready for her. So then she just walks off. And then after that, you had Roman Reigns being interviewed. Roman ends up talking about Paul Heyman, saying, "Oh, Paul Heyman shows up here like what, 10 days, whenever," and he just runs his mouth. And Roman ends up saying he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. Well, we all know, very predictable. And he says he's going to WrestleMania, of course, and he's going to beat Lesnar and take the Universal title. So, it was that interview with Roman. Then we had Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. This match didn't really care for it. Wasn't that good of a match. Points in the match in the crowd, you saw beach balls. You saw a beach ball going around. They probably had like 2 beach balls going around. The crowd. That's how the crowd didn't really care for this match. With beach balls going around. There was at some points where they were trying to do the wave. Before the match, when the match started, Bray Wyatt was out there. Matt Hardy disappeared, and all you just heard was Matt Hardy's voice, and you could tell Hardy was under the ring because Bray Wyatt ended up looking under the ring, and Matt Hardy wasn't under there, and so Bray Wyatt puts the ring apron down, and then out of nowhere Matt Hardy comes and starts beating up on Bray. But Matt Hardy got the win with the twist of fate on Bray. But match didn't really care for it, and even the crowd really didn't care for it. All they just did was delete chants, and playing with beach balls in the crowd and trying to do the wave. So, but maybe the WrestleMania match will be a whole lot better than what we got last night. So, but match wasn't that good. And then after that, we had the Ronda Rousey contract signing. Kurt Angle ended up coming out. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. They introduced Ronda. Ronda, ended up saying, she didn't want the contract. Triple H actually ended up saying, she didn't want that Ronda didn't want the contract to be special. And Triple H ends up saying, Ronda got an invite to WrestleMania, and when she signs the contract, she will be competing in a match at WrestleMania. And I'm like, can it be Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie? Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I know they're gonna do it. And Ronda ends up saying, she didn't want to be given a title match. She wants to earn, her way to hopefully win the Raw Women's title later on. And so Kurt Angle ends up saying that Stephanie and Triple H have been talking about Ronda ever since he came back to WWE, and they couldn't wait. Both Triple H and Stephanie couldn't wait to have her in WWE because they both wanted to manipulate her after what she did to them at WrestleMania 31. Well, at first Kurt ended up saying WrestleMania 21, so he botched that, and then he corrected himself there. And Kurt ended up saying, they both want to keep her, that Stephanie and Triple H want to keep their thumb down on Ronda because of that. And Stephanie ends up telling Ronda that yes, even though she did embarrass both Triple H and her at WrestleMania 31, and she ends up saying not only did she embarrass both of them, she impressed them with that moment, with her and The Rock in there. And Kurt ends up saying that Stephanie told him that Ronda was a has-been, and so it leads to Ronda being pissed at Stephanie. Triple H ends up coming in trying to separate her from Stephanie. Triple H was trying to calm Ronda down, and Ronda just broke Triple H because Triple H was putting both of his hands on Ronda. And then we saw Ronda ended up suplexing Triple H through the table, and eventually led to Stephanie ended up slapping Ronda. She actually really slapped her from the angle that you saw. Ronda had like big bruise right there from the slap. And that led to Ronda ended up signing the contract, leaving the ring. But the way how I would like to see this, because I know that they're going to put Kurt Angle with Ronda Rousey, and they're going to fight Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania. What I would like to see is Ronda and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie, but they have to go through a lot of stuff with The Rock, because The Rock is big, one of the big actors, one of the big paying actors in Hollywood now. And it would have been cool. It would have been cool to see Triple H and The Rock go at it once again. It's been a while since it's been a really long time since we saw Triple H and The Rock in the ring. But that would have been cool to see. But the whole contract, this whole contract signing segment, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. And then after that we had the main event, which was the 7-man Elimination Chamber, the first ever 7-man Elimination Chamber in WWE history. It was Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Elias versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. And I gotta say, this match, this Elimination Chamber match, it was okay. But I have to say that the last year's Elimination Chamber match with the men was much better, because we saw Bray Wyatt win the match when Bray Wyatt was still on SmackDown, because last year's Elimination Chamber was a SmackDown brand. This year was Raw, of course. But I have to say, last year's Elimination Chamber was much better from the men than this year. I mean, this match made Roman Reigns look weak, because Strowman was just dominating through everybody in this match. Everyone in this match, they were hitting finishes on Strowman. Strowman ended up kicking out of all of them. And towards the end of the match, it was Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Those were the only two guys left in the match. They were teasing that. We all knew that Roman Reigns was winning this match, and yes, he did. He did win this match. We all knew it was coming. We all fucking knew it was coming. And Roman Reigns ended up winning the match. He hit a Superman punch on Strowman, hit 2 spears to Strowman to score the win. And so now Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania to fight for the Universal title against Brock Lesnar. And people in the crowd did not care for did not care for this. They ended up really groaning. they were groaning when Roman won the match. Unbelievable. Well, we all knew that we didn't want this, but WWE wanted it because they do everything for Roman. They do it for Roman because that's what Vince wants. Vince wants to see Roman main event another WrestleMania. And we all know probably Roman Reigns is going to win the Universal title. But who knows? Even though I would like to see Lesnar retain at WrestleMania, but from what I heard, Lesnar signed more of his contract, so his contract expires in May. That's what I heard though. But yeah, Roman Reigns wins the Elimination Chamber match. And then after the match, you had Strowman hit Roman with 2 running power slams, which the crowd really enjoyed. And then he threw Roman into the pod to end the show. So really like that little end with Strowman just taking out Roman, and the crowd really liking it. So, but yes, this Elimination Chamber match, it was okay, but didn't like the outcome because we all knew Roman was going to win the match. We all knew it before. We all knew it way before this match took place. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all tonight for my Raw review, which will be up later tonight. So until then, see you all later tonight.